Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video. I apologize ahead of time if I am spamming your inboxes with all of the content that has been releasing, or information that has been releasing for the JP side. But I mean, with all of the stuff that is coming out there, and of course I know a lot of global players, or players in general, are curious to know what is going on the JP side. You guys already know I have to get this information out to you guys as soon as possible. But for this video, we have the full details on Gilgamesh's rework, his LD ability, and his BT plus. And we're going to go over all of that in this video. And then later on today, I will make a separate video. If not today, tomorrow, just in case. I will make a separate video on Kefka's rework, his BT plus, and then the changes that happened to Rosa and Guy in this same video. So, as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, consider liking the video and subscribing for future Opera Omnia content. And of course, a shout out to Cruz for simplifying and putting together everything that I am about to go over and making it super easier for me to understand and be able to explain it to you guys, because normally I would go over the information based off of what the data miners over at the Dissidia Compendium have posted up on their site. But sometimes it's a little confusing because they have both the Japanese text and the English text. But Cruz does me the big favor of basically making it much more cleaner so that it's much more understandable for me to go over and let you guys know exactly what's going on with the changes on characters and, you know, so on and so forth. So shout out to him. Thank you so much for doing me this big favor. So let's go over first off his rework for his skill 1 Death Claw, which what it does now is it reduces the target's brave to 1/10 or by 90% of the whatever brave that they have. And it is now a 4 hits melee brave attack plus an HP attack executed twice, 150% overflow, and it has a 25% chance of inflicting paralysis to the target, and it grants him a 60% attack up for 6 actions. And his brave attack becomes it changes his brave attack to Kotetsu. Then with his skill 2, Mad Dance, it is now a 3-hit melee brave attack plus an HP attack executed 4 times, 150% max brave overflow limit, and it grants him a 120% max brave up to himself for 6 actions. It also grants him 1 level of the big man on the big bridge to himself for 3 actions with a stack limit, or so max stacks of 5. His HP attack also changes to Genji Sword. While the big man on the bridge is at 5 stacks, his brave attack becomes Kotetsu, and his HP attack becomes Genji Blade. While Kotetsu and Genji Blade are both active, Mad Dance becomes Wild Dance. Now, Wild Dance, while Kotetsu and Genji Blade are both active, becomes a 3-hit melee brave attack plus an HP attack that is executed 4 times. It has the 150% overflow, and then on the last HP attack, it deals 50% splash HP damage to other targets. It does give him the max brave buff. It does give the 1 stack of the big man on the bridge. And then after that, after you use the Kotetsu and Genji Blade, they return to their original attacks, and then Wild Dance returns back to its Mad Dance. And then if Big Man on the bridge is at level 5, Kotetsu and Genji Blade will not revert back to their original attacks, aka it'll be it won't revert back to their brave or their or the HP attack. Now his LD ability, which is called I Suppose I Misjudged, and this includes the extension, is a 4-hit melee brave plus HP attack that is executed 4 times. So you got 4 HP dumps. The increased brave damage dealt against a single target is increased by 60%, as it has 180% overflow. The HP damage dealt is split. After every HP attack, except for the last one, he increases his brave by 20% of the total HP damage. So he is recovering brave between those HP attacks, except for the last one. he grants himself the Wanderer of the Rift to himself for 9 actions. Now that buff, what it does is it gives him a 40% brave damage dealt up, a 20% attack up, a 20% HP damage dealt up, and a 20% stolen max brave overflow limit up. Now, while this buff is active, his HP attack or Genji Blade becomes one of the following random attacks, either the King Sword, Legendary Sword, Apocalypse, or Ice Brand. After using one of these, if the condition is met, to enable Genji Blade and then revert accordingly. If not, then instead revert back to HP attack. And at the start of the next turn, so basically how it works, how his LD ability works is that after you use his LD ability, it would randomly choose either King Sword, Legendary Sword, Apocalypse, or Ice Brand. And each one of these has different abilities. And each of these abilities are abilities that we have seen before with previous units. And then after you use it, it reverts back into either his HP attack or into Genji Blade, whichever one it was that it was active. And then once his turn is active again, as long as Wanderer of the Rift buff is still active on Gilgamesh, then it will randomly choose one of the 4 buffs or one of these 4 attacks, and then you'll be able to use it again and again until that Wanderer of the Rift is gone, or until you use his LD ability to reapply that buff once again. So quickly, we'll go over it, what each one of these does. I will go over what the attack does on the first one, but I will not go over it on the other 3 because they all do the same thing. So King Sword is a 4-hit melee brave attack plus an HP attack executed twice, so there is 2 HP dumps, 150% stolen max wave overflow. After the last HP attack, it does deal 20% splash damage to other targets. After the last HP attack, he increases his brave based on 20% of the total HP damage dealt, and he extends his own active buffs by 1 action. After use, it moves the party's next action to after himself. So basically, King Sword is Onion Knight's LD effect. There was no action delay, and it doesn't increase turn count unless you are in the BT phase, except during BT phase summon, or if you use him as a friend support. And then again, after you use it, it will revert back to either Genji Blade or to HP attack. Now for the Myth Graven Blade is pretty much, let me just quickly go over it. Excuse me. Myth Graven Blade is basically Paladin Cecil's LD ability, where it recovers the party's HP, and it also gives HP overflow by 20% of their max HP. Is that one. Apocalypse is basically Cloud's LD ability, where they delay all enemies by 1 turn instead of the 2 turns, which is what Cloud. So it's not exactly what Cloud's LD ability does, but it's very similar to what it does. And then for Ice Brand, what that one does is that it launches the enemy. So it is similar to Ramza's LD ability, where it batteries the party and it launches the enemies into the air. And it does so it does the same thing as Ramza's LD ability. So it's a very interesting LD ability, but it is a bit RNG based, because you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting one of these 4 abilities. But at the same time, I mean, you are getting, you're getting something out of it. I'm not too picky in terms of RNG, because like each 4 of these abilities are pretty good. So for me, it doesn't really bug me too much, because like you have the ability to either launch, you get HP overflow, you can delay them, or you can what was the other one? You can delay, launch, HP overflow, or you can what was the other one? I already forgot. Let's see, delay. HP overflow, and then you can have turn shenanigans, Onion Knight's LD ability. So you have a couple of different options that you can have with Gilgamesh's LD ability. So it's an interesting LD ability, and I actually kind of like it. I really don't have too much of an issue with it. Now we're going to talk about his EX extension and his C65 extension. So his EX extension passive, when equipped with the passive Sky Splitting technique, he gets an increase in brave damage dealt by 50% and also an increase in stolen max wave overflow limit by 20%. At the start of the quest, he grants himself the real Mensch for 6 actions. When Hurricane extension is equipped, it is now a 9-hit AoE melee brave plus an HP attack. Oh, it was originally a 9-hit AoE melee brave plus HP attack, now becomes a 4-hit AoE melee brave plus an HP attack executed 3 times. Nice, very, very nice. It did get an increase in brave potency. It extends the duration of the Big Band on the bridge and real Mensch, I don't know how you pronounce that, by 2 actions, and it now delays all enemies. Ooh, very nice. Real Mensch gets the following changes. It gets an increase in initial Braver by 20%, so now you get an increase by 40%, and an increase to Brave regen based on his initial Brave by 50%. So now he gets an increase on Brave regen based on 250% of his initial Brave, which is pretty nice actually. And then his C65 with his extension, he gets a 40% attack up, a 20% stolen max brave overflow limit up, a 40% brave damage dealt limit up, so now he can do up to 13,998 a hit, and he also gets a 80% brave regen based off of his initial brave. Not too bad, not too shabby. Interesting. Okay, now finally let's go ahead and talk about his BT plus. So his BT plus Ultimate Illusion, and this is maxed out at 3 out of 3, is a 3-hit AoE melee brave plus an AoE HP attack executed 4 times, plus a 10-hit melee brave attack plus an HP attack. Damn, my man is doing damage. My God. Increased brave damage when attacking a single target, and it deals full HP damage. The brave damage dealt can break through the 9,999 limit by 40% on the first attack, up to 13,998 a hit. 60% for the second HP attack, or up to 15,998 a hit. Oh, this is different. Okay. 80% for the third HP attack, or up to 17,998. 100% for the fourth HP attack, or up to 19,998 a hit, and then 200% for the last HP attack, or up to 29,997 a hit. That's different. This is the first time we've seen a BT effect like that, or a BT attack do something like that. Brave Stolen can overflow up to, and then you can see the numbers right there. So he could potentially do up to 500,000. Okay, so on his last HP attack, he could be doing up to 500,000 HP damage. But in total, Gilgamesh could be doing up to, let me see if I can round up the math here real quick. So he can do up to, let's see, 20, 30, 50, 49. So Gilgamesh could do almost close to 1.5 mil total damage if my little guesstimate is correct, which is kind of nutty. The max HP damage dealt can exceed the 99,999, so he could do up to 400% HP damage up, which is crazy on his burst attack. After that, after he does his BT attack, he grants the Ultimate Illusion for 12 actions. Okay, so this is his BT effect. So his BT effect lasts for 12 actions, and it's a stack-based attack, a stack-based burst effect. The level of the burst effect increases after after he acts. So basically, to increase it, Gilgamesh needs to have a turn. And it has up to 4 stacks. So at 1 stack, the party brave damage dealt up gets increased by 50%. At 2 stacks, at 2 out of 4, it adds the party stolen max brave overflow limit by 30%. Wow. At 3 out of 4, it adds party HP damage dealt up by 20%. Huh. And then at 4 out of 4, it adds party obtainable brave and HP damage dealt limit up by 20%. Oh. Okay. So basically, with his BT effect, you are able to actually push beyond the amount of damage, the amount of brave and HP damage that normally you would not be able to do. You will be able to do it with Gilgamesh's BT effect. Interesting. At 2 out of 3 with his BT weapon, you do get an increase in brave damage delta by 50% or up to 100%. And then the party gets an improvement on obtainable brave and HP damage dealt limit by 10%. Originally 20%, now being at 30%. That's a pretty nasty BT effect, in my opinion, because like it's more focused on making sure that you are dealing some crazy damage. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Gilgamesh is looking like a bad boy. Huh. Well, all right. Well, I mean, Gilgamesh definitely got a crazy rework, and his LD ability is nice. I know that a lot of people might not like the whole like RNG aspect, or like, you know, the whole like you have a 1 in 4 chances of getting like one of the 4 attacks from his LD ability. But you know, for me, it doesn't really bug me. I know it might bug some people, but I don't really have too much of an issue with it. I do like his BT effect, though. I mean, the fact that you are able to really push your limits on the amount of HP damage you're able to do, and his BT effect lasts for 12 actions. That's a very good duration of a BT effect right there. I really like that a lot. Damn. This is a really good BT effect to have too. Oh man, this is gonna be a tough choice. Jeez, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to pass up on my main account. That's gonna be a bummer. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. How you guys feel about Gilgamesh and his upcoming release. Again, I will be making a separate video for the other characters, either today or tomorrow, so expect to see that sometime soon. But other than that, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again to Cruz for simplifying everything for this video, and I will catch you guys in my next video.